Welcome to Power Radio, channeling the power from within. I am your host, Jimquana Ferrell. I am definitely excited tonight. This is not just a regular Wednesday. First of all, this is Women's Month, Women's History, everything. I mean, Women's Day and month is all the time, of course, but this is Women's Month, and I'm definitely excited. Thank you so much. And we have the honor of having Olu Butterfly in the studio with us tonight. Yes, let's clap for that. Let's give the real claps. Let's, you know, I'm really excited because Olu doesn't even know this, but when I was a freshman, a baby at Towson University, she came up to the school. We had this event, and it might have even been Women's Month, and it was they called it the lock-in. Towson University, the women's lock-in. Do you remember that? And it was you, it was Navasha, it was Jai Hipster, and you did this one, and you you were so adorable, and you danced around, and it was this one
that
dance.
Wasn't me.
I got the moves for yourself. Remember that? You did that? That was you?
No.
Okay.
That was somebody else.
Anyway, that was you. And thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm just excited to have Olu in the studio with us tonight. And it's Women's Month. We're going to be talking a lot about the health of women and the spiritual explanation for a lot of health problems in the reproductive system. We're also going to be talking about the sacral chakras as well as the yoni egg. I absolutely love to talk about the yoni egg. So that is definitely what we're going to get into this evening. But before we get into that, it would be an honor if Olu Butterfly would bless us and open this up with a piece.
They want to know if you crazy or just amazing. I mean, in what part of the lunar cycle do you write? Is it in a crop circle with a Mexican devil dog pen? These Moringa tea words high off standing ovations from baobab trees, fresh from a round trip to the stars. Hey, they told me to go back to where I came from. And if you're trying to retaliate like a little paperweight, you better know that I rolled deep with my ancestors. So don't step to this reckless, because what ensues won't be unexpected, and crushing you with these heavy words is my dream job. I'm the barbecue bomb dip. Welcome to the Chili Sting Sessions. We be making crazy goo lyrics with curvaceous Sharpie episodes. The blacker the banter, the fatter the chatter. My grandma got stamina spreading data that matters. It's gotta be like that, what Mama Harriet told me. She said they need to see your exterior heart in the infinite show. They need to see you breathe deeply, then walk into a room. Let them see you sweat. Know that you care. They need to see you laughing at linty pockets and wallets with only paper flakes. Because we've been through lynching entertainment and middle passage years. A recession ain't nothing. And if your folk come with their fists balled up, especially around weapons, that's when you come with your palms open, pure and defenseless. This ain't for the wicked heart, so if you can't hang, then don't start. Because abandonment is all that they know. So ridiculous and obviously stubborn is all the young show, but they just looking for a way out of chaos on the low. You got to cross a moat thick to get to the dopeness. And I might just be the only one saying things that are getting better, because I can see the horizon in the 5-foot drug dealer on his way to school. I can see the abundant harvest in the teenage girl who couldn't say no to that boy, or the inner goddess. She's a 5-month pregnant artist. I mixed a little SAT vocab with the latest slang. Bang, did you really come to battle the butterfly? I'm like mixing an earthquake with the sunshine. And this is Olu Butterfly, or reporting for duty and for beauty. How y'all feeling today?
Yes! You better teach on this evening. You better teach at 9:09. I know that's right. I really love that poem, Olu. Can you tell us the inspiration behind that piece?
Making stuff up from my spirit. No.
Hey.
Let me see. That it was well, actually the inspiration was the argument with my husband, because he is especially where I said or things real. I might just be the only one saying things that are getting better. He's often on the other side. We both do work in the community. So, the work is there. And obviously there's some optimism if you're doing the work, but, he feels like Baltimore has all these issues and he kind of looks at things on that side. And I don't know, I'm just really optimistic. I feel like I don't know, if somebody is sick, it's like, yes, they're sick, but that doesn't mean that their body isn't working and things aren't getting better. And even some of the things that we think of um symptoms of sickness, like fever, is actually things getting better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we're just, that was kind of some
I'm
of the
so glad
inspiration.
that you blessed us with that. I'm going to get into the health portion, the part that I have been excited to educate everybody on this evening. So we're going to start with talking about the sacral chakra. What is the sacral chakra? It's the second chakra. It's the orange energy wheel right above the root chakra. Um, and it's the energy wheel that represents the reproductive system. And you okay?
I was trying. Nobody had to know I was asking him for a charger.
It's all right. You can ask for a
And
charger.
I'm
It's
glad we're
all
on the
good.
radio. Nobody can see my face.
I
I don't have one.
I
Either.
wasn't flirting.
I
I
wish.
don't know. I look like
And
I was.
it's funny
It's
because
like the plugging motion. She was like, "Hold up,
I'm like, wait,
what's going
is
on
Olu
here?"
not okay? Hold on there. Wait a minute. What do we need to do? We got to make
That
sure
was
that
sign
Olu is
language
all
for
good.
charging, nothing
Charging.
else.
If you have a charger, then bring it.
Yeah, drop that thing off 110 East Lexington.
What's in
Street.
East Lexington? You can drop it off for Olu. Come get. So what I wanted to talk about was the second chakra, the sacral chakra. The main obstacle for the second chakra is the conditioning and brainwashing of our society. We live in a society where we are not told to trust our gut and our feelings are not valued. Intuition is means of nothing if science cannot support it, and passion and emotional reactions are frowned upon. We are being taught not to lose control and trust the spirit, and we get disconnected from our bodies, our feelings, our intuition, and ultimately our creativity. We also suffer the wounds of our collective cultural struggles over many sexual issues of our society. It's manipulative and misleading because sexuality on one hand is magnified and glorified, and on the other hand, it's rejected, causing us to be embarrassed and not proud of our sexuality. This results in either blocked or excessive second chakra issues. Since the area is the starting point of passion, sensuality, enjoyment, and the health of expressing our feelings, it's obvious why we have so many issues in these areas. For instance, fibroids. Fibroids are they're tumors that can live in the uterine lining on the outside of the uterus, any portion of the uterus, and they can cause miscarriages, just a lot of pains in the abdominal area, and just really bad menstrual cycles. They're awful. I've personally experienced them myself. So everything that I talk about is something that I've personally experienced. And the spiritual reasons for them is that there's a blocked creativity. The spiritual reason for fibroids is there's blocked creativity. There's a couple of explanations. There's blocked creativity. There's sexual trauma that you may have dealt with that was never, ever dealt with and healed, and then you have repressed sexual emotions. So if you come from an environment where you weren't taught that we are all sexual beings, and that it's a healthy thing, those emotions can manifest themselves in the form of fibroids. Typically though, the explanation is a blocked creativity and sexual trauma. So constantly ask yourself the following questions: how often do you do things do you really enjoy? When you do these things, is it from a genuine space, or are you doing it for the approval and the love of another person? Are you codependent in relationships, and how do you contribute to that? Do you experience jealousy? Do you trust that life will happen the way that it is supposed to? And that is something that a lot of people that also have that health problem don't go with the flow of life. It's funny because do you believe that life is it has to be a struggle? Like, you have to struggle. And I do believe that in some space in life, when there's something that you want, you do have to work hard. You do have to strive. There are going to be setbacks, but life does not have to be hard all the time. It really doesn't. And it's funny because when I was younger, older people used to always say this to me, and it used to aggravate and it used to really, really anger my spirit because I always knew better. When I was a kid, when something that would happen, I would say, that's not fair. And what would an adult say? Life's not fair. No, life is what you make it. It is, you make the decision on how life is for you. And the sacral chakra is also your center of creativity. What is the fuel of creativity? Passion. Everything you will ever create, anything you will ever design, anything that uses creative energy, it all starts in the sacral chakra. And it's also where, of course, fertility originates. Why? Because conceiving a child is actually a very creative process. On this show, we also talk about past lives. If you don't agree that that isn't something that actually exists, more than likely you've probably already turned this off and watching some gospel. Anyway, so 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 definitely, I definitely know for a fact that past lives are a thing. I believe that birthmarks are past life scars. Um, and I bring this up because as a fetus in the womb, we have complete adult consciousness corresponding to the region in whence we came. This continues right up until the time of birth. Even at birth, there is a momentary consciousness of the previous life that we've came from. And as we involve ourselves more and more in the current life, that memory starts to fade. By age 2, the memory of your past life tends to have faded by then. And of course, by 4 to 14, you definitely don't remember that particular part of your soul. And of course, we talk about this on this show, the soul memory, the fact that your soul remembers everything, even the things that you do not. How many times have you met somebody that you've like, I've met you before, we've done this, and it may not have been a good experience? Or sometimes you meet somebody, you're like, I've met you before and I love you. Like, you are freaking awesome. Like, you are, so where is the sacral chakra located? For those of you that do not know, it's located in the area of your navel, lower abdomen, low back, and sexual organs. The basic issues affected in this place are nurturing, money problems, relationships, movement, emotions, warmth, intimacy, and like I said, the ability to go with the flow. That is something that definitely is an issue. So why should you heal this area if there are blockages? A blockage in the second chakra can cause both physical and emotional distress if not healed. Chakras are points in the body that moderate energy, allowing it to flow freely and maintain health and vitality. Unfortunately, the chakras can develop blockages that limit the energy flow. Chakra healing aims at restoring balance and freeing any blockage or kink in your energy body that prevents it from functioning optimally. Chakras can become either over or underactive, each leading to slightly different symptoms. An overactive chakra can cause emotional overreactions, codependency, muscle tension, and abdominal cramps. An energy deficiency in the sacral chakra can be fear of happiness, low libido, pessimism, depression, irregular menstrual cycle, urinary or bladder infections. All of those things are issues with the sacral chakra. So common symptoms addressed by sacral chakra healing: excessive indulging in addictive behavior, lack of fulfillment and insatiable desires, negative and destructive emotions, envy, jealousy, anger, all of that. So tools and techniques on how to heal this particular part of the body. I always say meditation is wonderful. Meditation is very useful for chakra cleansing and balancing. For example, simple chakra healing meditation consists of closing your eyes, envisioning an orange lotus or an orange crescent moon in that area of the second chakra in the pelvis. Hold that image in your mind for a few minutes while breathing deeply. And just imagine if there be any negative energy there, just imagine you can see the negative energy flowing out of your body. There are foods that help very well with healing that particular place. There's oranges, melons, coconuts, fruit, sacral chakras, and your sacral chakra. And also cinnamon is very, very good. And of course, drinking plenty of water to keep the toxins out of your body. Now, things that you want to stay away from, especially if you've had fibroids, if you've suffered from them at any point, you want to stay away from dairy products, red meat, fried foods, fried fatty foods, sugar, salt, caffeine. And one of the things that we are obsessed with in this society, alcohol. There are essential oils that work for clearing and healing that particular chakra, which are sandalwood, patchouli, orange, and rose. They're definitely, rose is very, very good. Orange is very, very good for healing the sacral chakra. And there's also stones that you can use. You know, we talk about stones in this show. So the stones pretty much, it's almost like it matches the chakra. So like if you have throat issues, which is blue, you know, blue stones typically. The same with root chakra issues, red stones, same. And the same thing with the sacral chakra. And there are other stones that work as well that don't fit the color, but for the most part, it tends to match. It tends to fit like a puzzle, to be honest with you. The the particular stones that you can use are the citrine, carnelian, orange calcite. Any orange stone, and moonstone is also very, very good for the reproductive system. There are a couple of yoga poses, and I definitely encourage you to look them up so that you can see what they look like. The Upasvista, the Kanasana, the open angle pose, and the bound angle pose. Those are all very good for helping to widen the hips and, of course, allow the positive energy to flow through the body. So more importantly, of everything, just remember to go with the flow, you know, and that's something that everything I speak about is something that I personally experience. I naturally do not go with the flow. I need control. I need it to be a certain way. I need to know how this is going to go. I need organization, you know, but life does not work that way. It it does not. Like I learned today, like I had a plan how things were going to go, and there was a little glitch in the system, and you just kind of ride the wave. Like, okay, this is what's happening. This is how we're going to deal with that. So for anybody that is dealing with healing shame in the second chakra, people that have experienced sexual trauma. I have also had those experiences. I've experienced sexual trauma, sexual abuse, molestation, all of those things. So I speak from a place of I've experienced this. This is not something I have read. This is something that I have lived. And like I said, I've also been, I had a fibroid and it was removed, and I don't have it anymore. And that is a blessing, like that my health is on point, especially in my reproductive system. Like nobody would want pain or discomfort in that place. Some of us might feel shame and guilt around pleasure due to strict sex education or traumatic experience such as molestation and sexual abuse and repressed sexuality, which can also cause the chakra to be overactive, which is not healthy. Now, it's trauma.
Oh, can I add something real quick?
Absolutely,
okay.
please.
I had a friend that had some fibroids. I hope she don't mind me telling the story. It's not like I have her I'm saying her name, but
it's all good.
She had some fibroids, and she you know, of course, was given the option to remove them. But what she did was she had I want to say, let's say 3 abortions, and she wrote letters to like those children, and you know, just released a lot of feelings surrounding that experience. And when she went back in 3 months later, she didn't have any fibroids. So I could say it's not connected.
See, that's awesome, Olu. I'm glad you shared
coincidence.
that. I'm really, really glad that you shared that. Because, you know, if you don't deal with the spiritual reason as to what's wrong with you, it just travels to another part of your body or it grows back. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people have tumors. They get them removed 5 months later, they're back, and sometimes larger and harder to get rid of. You know, is trauma really that big of an issue? Trauma just in this lifetime. No, even the sexual traumas of our great grandmothers can affect us. It's called ancestral trauma. The womb wounds of our ancestors are passed down through our epigenetic DNA, and we will talk about epigenetic DNA. And we often hold and carry the pain of sexual trauma, emotional abuse, abandonment of our mothers and fathers experience. Money is also connected to the sexual energy and womb trauma. It also creates lack of abundance and a failure to thrive and feel safe in the world. When the womb releases negative energy, it begins to birth love, beauty, and good fortune. Your womb and feminine crown becomes healthy and secure. Miraculous shifts in your life will happen, and the law of attraction can happen as the womb begins to heal and regain trust in life again. There is no trauma, relationship, or ancestral or past life wound that cannot be healed, cleared, and released through DNA. Genetics. What is that? Well, certain experiences also cause changes in your DNA. Child neglect. How about child neglect, drug abuse, or severe stress? If chemicals can affect your DNA and alter your DNA and and pass on into your offspring, then why in the world wouldn't child neglect, drug abuse, and severe stress do the exact same thing? They also set off epigenetic genetic changes to the DNA inside the neurons of a person's brain. This theory has caused so much research, and according to the new insights of behavioral epigenetics, traumatic experiences in our past or in our recent ancestors' past leave a molecular scar on your DNA. Grandchildren of Holocaust victims, people of Chinese descent whose grandparents lived through the ravages of Cultural Revolution, young immigrants from Africa whose parents survived massacres, adults of every ethnicity and socioeconomic background who grew up with alcohol or abusive parents. All of them carry with them more than just the memories of those experiences. They also carry the molecular scars in their DNA. And even the pain, even if it's something that they don't even know is going on with them, it becomes a part of who you are. A molecular residue holding fast to the coding of your DNA. The DNA remains the same, but physiological and behavioral tendencies are inherited. You might have inherited not just your grandmother's eyes, but also her predisposition toward depression caused by the neglect she suffered as a newborn. And also, in a positive way, it also works as well. So um, if your grandmother had a wonderful life, positive, lots of love, lots of positive energy around her, you can also be experiencing a boost in that area because of that. So to heal these areas if there are any issues there, and just to let you know, um, uh, some of the ways to know that something in that chakra may not be right. If you have really long menstrual cycles, your period should not be any more than 5 days. I know that a lot of women are like, what? It should not be 2 weeks. You should not be experiencing extreme pain. You shouldn't be in a pain where you have to call out from work. It should not be that intense. That is spiritual, and that needs to be healed. If it does not get healed, it continues into your children, into your offspring. And that's something that we don't want to talk about. But if we don't talk about it, it does not get healed. Anything that is not discussed does not get healed. So to heal your chakra, there are a couple of things that you want to ask yourself, and you ask yourself these questions until the answers are yes. How attractive do you feel? Are you confident about your self-image? Do you doubt yourself a lot? Do you feel ruled by your emotions? Are you emotionally aware and conscious? Are you often indulging in life's pleasures to the point where you lose balance? Can you balance passion and personal discipline? Do you feel expressed in your passions for life? Are you feeling alive most of the time, or do you feel dull? And another thing that I wanted to talk about is the yoni egg, which is very, very important. And we talk about crystals all the time on this show, and we talk about how the vibrations in these stones change and alter the way that your body works in a positive way, and can in a negative way, which is why I always say you want to be very mindful where you get your yoni eggs. You want to be mindful where you get your crystals. You want to be mindful where you get anything that's going to be on your body, because not everybody has the appropriate energy, and not everybody has the best intentions. So you don't want to just be taking a crystal from somebody and putting it on your heart chakra if it's not been cleared, not been cleansed, not been charged. You don't want to do that. So you can get them from me. You can get them anywhere. But I definitely strongly recommend that you know how to clear them or go to somebody that knows how to clear them. I personally would not trust crystals or yoni eggs off of eBay or anything like that. That's just my personal thing. You do what you want to do. And I'm not also, just as a disclaimer, I am not this is, definitely take my advice. If you feel that you have some severe health issues, always go to the doctors. So the yoni egg, the yoni is Sanskrit for womb, and it literally means sacred temple. It is the inner sanctum, a place to access our wisdom, our power. We all come from this magical place, and yet generally we don't honor this place. A lot of women treat this area with not as much love as they should, letting the unworthy into this space, causing our emotions to be disconnected from ourselves. So you must make the choice to reconnect with yourself, honor yourself, celebrate yourself. So the yoni egg, I definitely would encourage you to it also increases the perception. It controls your muscles. It awakens your creativity, because creativity is very, very important. If you don't feel creative, then something, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you don't feel creative, something's going on with your sacral chakra. It's really just that simple. It also harmonizes your emotions. It helps with PMS, menstrual cramps, breast discomfort, and it's also wonderful for helping to heal sexual trauma. And why do you think that it is that some women can spend years in therapy talking about sexual trauma and not feel healed? I mean, in the therapist's office every Tuesday or Thursday, just talking over and over and over again, and still having the same issues, because the sexual trauma forms a pattern in the cellular memory of your reproductive system. And having conversations with somebody that is not spiritual is not going to help you. It's really not. Like I say all the time, every illness on the planet is spiritual. Using a yoni egg, the molecules, the frequencies, and the vibrations change the pattern of your cellular memory and assist in regaining a healthy balance in sensual issues. Our traumas hold within them a doorway into our most potent gifts, as very often we have blockages in the areas that we are most powerful. Never forget that we have blockages in the areas that we are most powerful. If you have issues with your throat chakra, you probably have a powerhouse singing voice and need that fixed, need that cleared.
I wish that was true. In my next life, I'm gonna be a good singer.
Hey,
I was like, my throat issues from sugar.
From sugar? Oof. You need what is it?
But I do talk a lot.
You use crystals?
So maybe it's not just singing.
You use crystals, stones, crystals and stones?
You said, do I use them?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure.
Do you have lapis lazuli?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't actively use it.
Okay.
I was like, between me and my mother, I got access.
Okay. So lapis.
I'm just all out the loop when it comes to this.
I'm sorry, y'all. Michael D. Martin is in the
It's
studio.
beautiful.
Hi, Michael.
Lapis
How are
lazuli
you?
is beautiful.
Hello.
But you know, like lapis lazuli is very, very good for people that would like to develop a stronger voice, a more powerful voice. Blue kyanite is also wonderful for that. But I definitely think that lapis lazuli.
Yeah,
is
no,
the
I was
best.
saying I talk a lot and I'm loud, so I guess there's the throat
so
chakra.
you stretching stuff there.
But the thing about
overactive.
being on key. So whatever crystal you need to be on key, that's what I need.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna have to do some research and figure out what's a good we will in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up and then Olu's gonna get ready to bless us with a piece in about 2 minutes. Is that good? Awesome sauce. So so a couple of last minute things that I would like to talk about in terms of the egg. I've narrowed it down. There are 4 types of women. And there are more than that, but we're going to just simplify this for a moment. There are 4 types of women in terms of what particular yoni egg you need. So the one that doesn't really has very rigid sex, needs to open her heart, very tight emotionally, rose quartz will work wonders for this person. Um, a woman who has been with a man or a woman or whoever they've dated, and that person left behind some really bad energy, you would want to get black tourmaline. For somebody that is who needs a little bit more intuition in that area, who needs a little bit more discernment, as they say, I love him. He's amazing. He's like the best guy I ever met, and we're soulmates, and I feel it in my spirit. But she met him yesterday at the club, and you were drunk.
People don't meet their soulmates at the club?
No. No, I mean, what type of club? I mean, hey, it's not my place to say.
I've met some there.
You met some?
Yeah. I mean, not my forever soulmates, but there's my
not
soulmates.
Forever, ever, right?
Yeah, you get more than one soulmate.
Oh, all right then. Oh, all right. I can dig that. I can
we recognize each other and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Yeah, but that particular you want to get you a malachite or a tiger's eye. I love tiger's eye. It's one of my favorite stones. And then the reflexology of the reproductive system. So what is reflexology? It's pressure. It's spaces in your body, in your hands, your feet, and even your face that lets you know other parts of your body are misaligned and are not healed and need some healing. So for instance, if you look at your hand palm up, the very top of your fingers represents your head and your brain. The lower where the base is in your hands, that represents your ovaries and your testes for men. So if that area you're experiencing a lot of pain, you want to get that checked out. Places in the face. If you have pain in the chin area, that pressure point, that space there represents your reproductive system. Your throat, the left and the right side represents your sexual stimulation. So you definitely want to look at those things, and it's just very important that you use all of the power that you have within to heal yourself. Do as much as you can to fix yourself. So with all of that being said, I think that with all of that education and breakdown, that it would be a wonderful time for Olu Butterfly to bless us with a peace. And I would love that. My soul would be happy. It's basically what I'm saying. And I would like that a lot.
No, I don't have a car pausing body. I'm a black girl without a big butt. I had to find out I wasn't ugly. Now you can't pay me to keep my mouth shut. She ripe urban fruit. She got the boom bap down and her walk down to the corner store. She got the shabadoo scat and her one hand on her hip lean. Homeless eyes resting on battered sunshine. Is she mixed? Yeah. Sawdust and stardust. Dodging arguments on the doorstep, traffic in her tears, the ocean on her tongue. She gonna put on some Mary and not gonna cry. No more. She gonna shed skin. Because she had previously found it difficult to see her reflection with all this concrete and bulletproof glass. Because she had previously found it difficult to complain about the Mickey D drive-through date on their anniversary or the diamond bracelet, trying to make up for sometimes when he don't come home. It's been too long since she been pushed up on for her genius, been hollered at for her psychic ability, perfected, then canceled. Sometimes when the moon is a juicy orange slice, she just want to yell as candlelight and kickbox roses to take the lonely out of loving so hard. She wearing a stop sign to the club tonight. No offense, it's all about her and the speakers this time. No, I don't have a car honking body. I'm a black girl without a big butt. I had to find out I wasn't ugly. Now you can't pay me to keep my mouth shut. Gotta take it back to when you had her back. Before they rolled on her back, put the whip to her back, made her lay on her back and enter to the back and sit in the back. It's not her fault that dignity and grace been in retrograde, like a band of angels sentenced to the American Idol tryouts, descendants of misused stolen people. But they forgot she been a hustler since the Sahara Desert tried to roll up all hard on her and her family. When they domesticated gunpowder, they tried to burn her down, and she just ate up their manicured bushes and used the ashes as eyeshadow. They tried to shush her and stuff her under the mountain, which she promptly broke up in the original twerking session. There are many that hate on her life with foreign beauty standards. But Queen Nefertiti's feet don't fit in Cinderella's glass slippers. So what? She from that hood where they got that good hair. Nappy as it wanna be. Nappy as Africa's Gold Coast outline, as boiling maple syrup bubbling like stage diving palm trees or butter and black pepper on slow cooked grits. Even when she try to teach it tricks and make it lie down. Don't try to insult her with a fine tooth comb. Do you see what's happening here?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, I know.
Don't try and insult her with the fine tooth comb. What? Sorry, my iPad is tripping.
It's
That's
all
why
good.
I know this by heart, but I should
It's
just
all
do it from my head.
good.
I got spirits interfering with my
It's y'all.
iPad.
Can y'all calm down? It might be your my granddad and your people was probably just. Can we get through this show, y'all? If y'all
Tried to
could-
crown her with the Crayola halo, crying, "Hey yo, where's my pay ho?" It's an everyday show where a great folk is burnt up at the end of a frayed rope. She's your forever lover and her smile's your best friend. You too cheap, she molded in a 10. Originally go locked into rocks, indigenous to heaven, but she had an oxygen habit. Gotta have it. Carefully crafted, Afro-Asiatic, charismatic. Keep her by your side and she'll put you on the map. It's possible to flip it and smack it, but don't get distracted. No, I don't have a car draping body. I'm a black girl without a big butt. I had to find out I wasn't ugly. Now you can't pay me to keep my mouth shut.
can't pay me to keep my mouth shut. Yes,
Possessed.
it's all right. It's all right. You know, it's.
I
cool.
should have just did it from my head.
See, it's funny because that right there is my life right there. I don't have video girl hind parts. I don't have it. And now that I love me, what? I got it in the front though. I'm blessed in the front and highly favored. But but back there, you know, but that's all right though, because it's getting there, you know, it's getting a little, I'm getting a little curve and you know, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about, you know, I guess when you like
eating juices and berries.
you know, yes, we gonna go with that.
Juices and berries. Huh?
Juices and berries. That's what we gonna go with that. I you know, they say that when you get in like relationships that you gain weight and I know from myself that in this particular blessing relationship that I'm having right now, I'm getting hips and I'm excited about it and I'm getting thighs, but that's not what we talking about. So I'm curious to know, do you practice any holistic health? Any holistic practices?
I mean, I think health is holistic.
Yeah,
How about that? So,
absolutely. Okay.
You know, I mean, I don't go to a regular doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
That's
nothing
what's
but
up.
holistic, maybe. But
okay.
yeah, so I usually see if I really need help. I just haven't been able to find that at a conventional,
Like a shaman.
No, I'm just saying, you know, regular, I guess, hospital business. They've never been able to solve any of my problems. I've tried.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I actually need help or my children really need help, I usually go to, for example, Ian with Universal Healing and or acupuncture or herbs and such.
Yeah.
So and you know, when you say shaman, definitely it's interesting because I've one time we made a 17-hour journey to see some elders in northern Ghana, for example, and it was actually not. It was for relationship counseling. So I wanted to do it there because I'm like, I don't know anybody back in Baltimore, so let's just get on this bus for 17 hours
and let this happen.
And yeah, so but it was very interesting to deal with something that you thought was the issue in a very like separate but related way. So, you know, I didn't even mention anything about like why we came. Immediately they started talking about my father trying to contact me through my iPad right now. Do you see this?
Yeah, I see. honey, you are talking to the right one, okay?
And
Yeah,
there's a lot
she
of
goes to
different.
this on a regular.
I go through this on a regular basis in the house. And,
Yeah, so a lot of
man.
different things. And so, eventually I had to be like, excuse me, we came here for this. He was like, I know. Like, but to know that like the reason why you have relationship issues is because you are all on your own personal journey in the middle of your maturing growth. And that usually has some conflict at some point with the other person's growth.
Mhm.
So it's not really y'all that's the issue. It's like these other issues that are coming into play and that affect each other. So, yeah,
Now, is it true? Because I have to do my research now. Did you go to University of Maryland?
Baltimore County, yeah,
Okay,
not College Park.
and you have a degree in mechanical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted everybody to know, in case you didn't know, that Olu is also not just gorgeous and super talented and able to just write a poem in half a second like these Aquarius folk. I don't understand y'all, but hey. But she's also like brilliant. Where are you from, Olu?
Jupiter.
Hey.
Actually, a different galaxy, but my iPad is recording
It's the
this
most
against
original
my
answer
will.
ever.
Now it's switching to a new app.
Either he really likes me or he
But,
really doesn't. I don't know.
I wanted to stop.
Do you've had
But,
your yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I was born in Nigeria, and I spent my earliest years in St. Croix Virgin Islands. But my mom went to Goucher College, so that's how I ended up in this area.
Okay.
And I've been between DC and Philly for most of my life.
Okay.
Mostly in
Yes, Philly.
All right. What's your have you had your chart done before?
I guess so. Yeah.
So you Aquarius, right?
Mhm.
Where's your moon?
Taurus.
You have a Taurus moon.
Yes.
What's your rising?
Scorpio.
Yes, Scorpio rising. Me too. Hey, yes, I'm all about that Scorpio, which is interesting. Okay, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm always excited to meet a fellow. How long ago did you have your chart done? Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. What was growing up for you like? Were you popular? Were you quiet?
I was a regular Aquarius, so it's called aloofly popular.
Okay.
Like, meaning I wasn't interested in being popular, but I like people.
Mm-hmm.
So I just be around them a lot.
I dig that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I wasn't necessarily popular. I'm an Aquarius too. I wasn't necessarily popular, but I was also cool with everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get the name Olu Butterfly?
My name is Olu Fumake. So when I was growing up, I went with the last part of my name a lot. Like, my technical nickname is Funke, but you cannot be in the hood growing up with the nickname Funke. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You could start a band later on in life with that, but no. So I quickly abandoned that, to my mother's chagrin, that nickname. But and my grandmother really liked Irish things because her birthday was in March, so she went with McKay.
Okay.
So but yeah, Olu is the beginning part of my name, and it means God. And my middle name is Butterfly because my mother let me name myself my own middle name when I was little. And
That's awesome.
yeah, I ran into my kindergarten teacher, and she told me some story I told her about my middle name, that I was always be a butterfly. I was never going to be a caterpillar. So that's why my middle name was there.
Yes.
So I didn't know that was what was behind my middle name when I did it.
So artistic, professionally, who is Olu Butterfly?
Oh, that is my assignment. I'm part of an artist group, and I'm supposed to come up with my artist statement, and I don't know the answer. But moving towards my homework of coming up with that, I would say I'm a modern abolitionist. So yes, helping people to understand, to be hungry for, and just different pathways to freedom, I would say. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what is your inspiration for your personal style? Because I love your style. Like, for me, it's always like, okay, what is Olu going to say and what is she going to wear?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always an excitement. So
I like to entertain myself
okay.
at other people's expense sometimes, or hopefully something they might like. But I started hosting events and things like that. And I didn't realize that was a skill until I saw some people do it really, really badly one time. But they were insulting people. And Baltimore, as an audience, is very polite. They'll just start talking over you.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I would just say that like I'm just being myself in public. And so like when I was in college, I used to just have fun. Like one time I had some orange sweatpants, and it was that like, I don't know what you call those jackets. They're black on the outside and orange on the inside. And they're not bomber jackets. It's something else. But
not the windbreaker, not the swishies.
No. But anyway, the point is that I flipped it to the orange side. I don't think that you're supposed to, and nobody else ever does it. And I wore all orange, and then I went around saying danger, like Terry. So I just had fun. So yeah, I would say.
So
or whatever's clean and from the laundry is how it ends up.
I understand.
I bought it with fun in mind, but then it just ends up with whatever.
Laundry day would bring out all the creativity.
All of the
my dryer not working right now.
So I ask every artist this on the show, if you could have a dream show, like it's about Olu, your dream show. What does that look like? Where is it in the world? It can be anywhere in the world. Who's opening for you? Are you barefoot? Are your babies on stage with you? Like, is it nighttime? Like, what would your dream show look like?
Okay, because I started thinking about like my own network, because me and Oprah had the same birthday. So when you said dream show, I started thinking like my talk show or something.
Okay.
But I really like well, my favorite places on earth, besides like a bunch of places in Africa, would be I love Rotterdam, and I love in the Netherlands, and I love New York. And I like the way Paris looks more than it feels. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, maybe it would be in New York or Rotterdam. And
New York or Rotterdam.
Were you always comfortable in your own skin?
I mean, I was like a middle schooler, so I don't know how many middle schoolers are comfortable in their own skin. Mm-hmm. But probably for a middle schooler, somebody recently reached out to me for a high school. No, that was middle school. We went to middle school together, and she was just saying she appreciated that, like the way I stood up to the boys and stuff like that, and how it gave her courage. And so I guess, in a way, when you're awkward and trying to figure out if people like you or don't like you, and it actually matters to you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, there was times when, I'm like getting some shoes that are different from, I never seen anybody wear these shoes, but I really like the way they look. And then I'm like, people looking, yeah, joke me or not.
Absolutely.
And then it's like, I wear them and people are like, oh, I like those. I'm like, oh, that's good.
So we're coming to our close of the show. I definitely would love you to bless us with another piece. Before you do, can you tell us what is your biggest accomplishment so far?
Besides making human beings, I was something that I'm working on right now, in a way, I guess, is well, that's what I'm excited about. I can't think beyond that right now. Okay. But I am excited to be a part of this coming Artscape. The theme is space. So I'm like, yeah, it's right up my alley. It's in Baltimore, and it's about space, outer space. So yes, I get to be part of a team doing an Afrofuture installation.
Okay.
So
and yes. This is when? When is this?
Artscape is July 15th through 17th.
Okay. Yep.
All so right, that's still very early in the works. I don't know what it's going to be like, but like if the budget's going to fit my big dreams about it. But the point is that the proposal was, research put together and accepted. But so yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. And my book is coming out in maybe the end of this year. And it's called Jupiter Memoirs.
I'm excited. I can't wait to
Afro fantasy poetry.
To definitely
Afro fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Afro fantasy poetry at that.
Yes.
So this segment, real quick, I like to go through this one in like 10 seconds. 9 random things. Favorite color?
I was gonna say chartreuse because I like the way it sounds, but um, electric blue.
Okay, Electric Blue. Favorite song.
Um, right now, I like Alabama Shakes, but I would have to say Bob Marley. What is it called? Babylon System is the bonfire. Uh, Babylon System. Is that what it's called?
Okay,
I don't know.
we're gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Favorite show.
Like TV show?
Mhm.
Oh, I don't own a TV.
Good. I don't either.
I like, what's the Trevor Noah show?
Oh, I like that too.
How about
You mean
that?
like when he does Daily Show?
There you go.
Okay,
I don't
I'm
know.
with that.
I actually watched it online. So.
I'm with that. Favorite book.
The Famished Road by Ben Okri.
Favorite author. Well, we can.
Ben Okri.
Okay. Favorite sport.
Basketball.
Basketball. Favorite food.
Roti. Veggie roti with chana and real vegetables.
Favorite restaurant.
Around here.
Mm-hmm. Or anywhere really. Like we don't have to know about it. It's
I like
whatever
Indian
your
food
favorite.
all over the world. That's what I usually eat.
Okay. A favorite hiding place to just kind of breathe and write.
Anywhere where my children aren't. That's the only place I can. But I don't know. I like being by water.
Yeah.
So right now it's dirty harbor water, but
all right. I dig that. So we're gonna actually wrap the show up. It has been so much fun with the dancing back and forth with the spirits and pops and granddad and yeah, it's been an awesome ride, and I'm so honored to have you here. Let us know where you can find you on social media and close us out with a piece. The last person that you're going to hear is Olu. So thank you so much for listening. This is your host, Jimquana Ferrell, channeling the power from within. Yes, Olu, take us out.
okay. You can find me. You can like me on Facebook, Olu Butterfly. That's OLU, and then Butterfly, and Instagram at Olu Butterfly. Twitter, I don't tweet though. I should. It's like I have 20 tweets, but so
More than I have.
I'm gonna try this. I've never read this in public before, but it's nice and short and about life. So say what you mean and mean what you say. You were the 1 in 250 million sperm that made it to be a dot, that inspired morning sickness and late night cravings, all before you were a nickel, baking to perfection while your soul crosses an ocean from heaven. You grow from a mango to a pumpkin with eyelashes and tiny toes, a moment of silence for the myriad who did not make it this far, to finally twist and dip at just the right angle and have your skull overlap and your lungs squeezed, marching towards a cold world through an expanding matrix of bones or through layers of skillfully cut open flesh. Yes, you did this. And if you defy attempts to abort you or have to tiny fist box your way here with tubes shooting through your organic parts, or your mother was raped or addicted or snacking on dirt, and you are reading this poem, you are listening to this poem, then you really know how bad you were wanted still. But how could a universe that loves you dump you here though? But it never lied in its brochure to you. You knew this was no cruise vacation, the location and time known as your body in the crosshairs. It told you about the countless wars and the misguided parents. And yes, you did ask to come here. Nothing accidental or even casual about this thing infinitely harder than dying. So it is time to stop the funny looking mourning like you were evicted to here. As overpopulated as the world is, there are more back there. But you won, and it is no prize but a lengthy investigation. And we hope that 10 lunar months or less is enough to store up the requisite amount of prayers and instructions, and you leap mightily. An investment of nutrients and dreams through a chaos soup. In the same way that people cannot yank poems from you, this beautiful gathering of working molecules voted for you to lead them. It is your choice. Not to be a cheap plastic toy lasting a day outside the package, or sunglasses with no lenses, or a Pegasus learning to fly from a drone. There are certain things that can only rise if you fall. Is that really how you want to donate your organs? Gallivanting about as such an inaccurate you? needing to be edited, seizing the biggest opportunities, doing what you don't love to do. That is no mission. Preach. Let's be realistic about our infinite possibilities, for real, for real. Sincerely, the universe.
Thank you for listening to Power Radio. I am your host, Jimquana Ferrell, channeling the power from within. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next week.